Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's 9 o'clock on Friday, so you know that this is another episode of Friday Friends with me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info and maintainer of rielderinfo.com, the most comprehensive resource for seniors, caregivers, and professionals here in Rhode Island. And every Friday, I bring on guests who are sharing information and resources that you or someone you know needs to know about. So make sure you hit the like button, the share button, all those social media cues to let people know that this is something really cool and interesting that they need to check out. So, as you all know, we are a nonprofit, so we could not do this work and bring you these guests every week without the support of our sponsors. So huge thank you to Point 32 Health, to Aetna and United Health, Oak Street Health, England Studio, and 321 Media. We genuinely could not do this without their support, as well as the support of viewers like yourself. It is many hands that make the load light. So this week we are talking to a wonderful person who's running an amazing program and sharing information that is impacting far more people than we even begin to acknowledge. So continuing with our Cyber September series, I'd like to welcome Kim Cassie Pelangio, the program director for the peer support program at Cyber Crime Support. Did I say that all right?
You said that great, Deb. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to come on. Tell me, what is the Cyber Support Network?
So the Cyber Crime Support Network is a national nonprofit. We assist people who have experienced any type of cybercrime. And we do that through our website, fightcybercrime.org. People can visit the website. You will find some educational materials. You'll find some blogs to read. You'll also find a section of our website where you can click on the cybercrime that you've experienced, and it will drill it down for you into immediate action steps to take, very specific to that cybercrime. It'll tell you where to report that specific cybercrime, and it will give you options for recovery from that specific cybercrime. And what's great about our website is that the hyperlinks are right there for you, so it makes it really easy to use. So for example, if you had to report your crime to the FBI IC3, it will have the link to take you right to that reporting page. You don't have to leave to try to find it or worry that you might have clicked on something that looked like the FBI but wasn't. So all of those hyperlinks are there for you. It's self-serve, really easy to use. We also have two main programs at Cybercrime Support Network. One is a military and veteran program that is specific for people who are active duty military, veterans, and their families. And those are for cyber crimes that they are specifically targeted by. And you will also find a second program on our website that is the peer support program for romance fraud. And I can give you some more details on that. But both of those programs and all of our resources are free.
Oh, wow. So nobody has to worry about potentially losing more money if they've already been victimized, right?
Absolutely. Right. Everything is free, and we are here to help guide you so that you get to the appropriate resource.
And so for cybercrime, what different kinds of cyber crimes are there? Are there a lot of different kinds?
Yes, there are 42 recognized cyber crimes under the FBI's recognition. But under those cyber crimes, there's like an umbrella, for example, imposter fraud. And under that imposter fraud umbrella, you will find romance fraud, but you'll also find other types of fraud like lottery and sweepstakes fraud, government imposter fraud. So underneath that umbrella are a lot of different various types of scams.
Oh, that's good because I know like the IRS is never going to call you and demand Apple gift cards.
Absolutely, absolutely. No government agency is going to contact you in that manner and threaten to put you in jail if you don't pay them in any type of cryptocurrency or gift cards.
And so, did you find that during COVID, it seemed like more people went online? Was there a significant escalation in the number of cyber crimes happening?
Absolutely. So the pandemic, coupled with the increase in technology and the way that we connect to people, all kind of merged. And absolutely, people were online more, they were socializing online. And so, there's a misnomer that people, meet, for example, romance fraudsters on dating sites. That's just one place that they meet them. So, social media sites of all sorts, online gaming, sometimes, Words with Friends or Scrabble. Also, you may just get a random text or phone call or email from somebody who's looking for someone else. But what they're really trying to do is strike up a conversation with you and develop a relationship in order to defraud you of some of your money or your personal identifying information. So, as far as statistics go, for example, in 2022, the FTC reported that 2.4 million people in the United States experienced a cybercrime. And of those 2.4 million people, there were $8.8 billion in losses. That's billion with a
Oh
B.
my God.
So now if we bring that down and we look just at romance fraud, and keep in mind, I should back up a second, keep in mind that all of those cyber crimes in that 1 year jumped 44% in 1 year. So that's a huge uptick. But now when we drill that down and we look at romance fraud, we have 1.3 billion people. I'm sorry, $1.3 billion, $1.3 billion with a B again in the United States alone, representing a 137% increase. 137% in 1 year. So you can see
Holy
how this
cow.
particular scam is really picking up speed. And the other thing that we look at and in the future with this type of scam, with any type of imposter scam, is the use of AI technology. So when we first began our program 3 years ago, most people did not video chat with someone that they met online, and that was kind of like a telltale sign. If they won't video chat with you, they're a scammer. We can't say that anymore because of AI technology. These scammers are able to video chat and they're able to look a lot like the photos that they've shown you. And as long as they kind of stay pretty still and they don't move out of the frame, they can put that overlay on and they can look like the person that you expect them to look like. And of course, that technology is growing faster and faster. So right now, there are some signs to look for in AI technology, asking people to move quickly to see if they're really who they say they are, but that gap's going to close fast. And so it's going to be hard to tell who you're talking to. And so video chatting with someone is not enough to know that the person that you're talking to is who they're saying that they are.
Holy cow. I didn't even think about the fact that like we can use fun filters to like give us little doggy ears and things like that. I didn't think about it could be used to put a fake face on somebody. That's super creepy.
Yeah.
Like I noticed sometimes I'll comment on somebody's social media post and then I get a message from somebody, or not even a message, but like a comment to my comment of, wow, you're really funny or you're really pretty and I really want to connect with you. And can you, friend request me or send a message? You know, the words sound really nice and flattering, but it always raises a red flag for me. If people are getting that kind of comments on their comments, or if they're getting messages on social media, what should they do when, like, it's nice when somebody's saying nice things. So I could see how people could be drawn in really quickly.
Absolutely. And so this is kind of the double-edged sword of the internet and social media. We want to be on there and we want people to be on there, meeting other people and engaging. But at the same time, you need to be really careful. If someone is contacting you that you don't know, that's your first red flag. If they're becoming super flattering, professing their love really quickly, telling you some sob story that they need your help with, wanting you to send them money. All of these things are red flags, wanting you to move off of the social media site. For example, going from Facebook Messenger to Google Chat or WeChat or anything like that is also another telltale sign. Scammers want to leave the social media site or the dating site pretty quickly, because once they get tagged and booted off the site, they have to come back with a whole new persona. So they don't want to have to do that. So they want to jump off as quickly as they can get you off. So that's another telltale sign. But if you meet someone and they're not able to meet you in person for a cup of coffee in the first few weeks, that's got to be a real red flag for you. Everyone should be able to make time to meet you for a cup of coffee. They're going to tell you different stories about they have to travel, they're stuck where they are. They really want to meet you. They're coming home soon. It's the job that they're doing, or they're in the military. All of these things are known phrases that scammers will use. And remember that a scammer is lurking on social media and dating sites. They're Googling you. They're getting as much information on you as they possibly can to find those commonalities with you, to immediately strike up a conversation and have things in common. Like maybe they're a pet owner too, or maybe they have grandchildren too, or maybe they like to garden as well. Maybe their spouse recently passed away. They're finding out as much about you as they can from your social media pages. And so it's important when you're on social media to maintain a level of privacy. Only friend people who you're sure of. So what does that mean? Don't friend someone just because they're a friend of a friend, because your friend may have done the same thing, and so on and so forth. Down the line, the scammer gets into everybody's contact. Message your friend or call them and say, hey, do you know so-and-so? Because they want me to friend them and they're striking up a conversation with me. Do your research. Use reverse image searching. Search the person's name. Search the address that they supposedly live at. Do your own research and know that if something doesn't come up at all, so you can't find anything on this person, that's a red flag, because we all have a footprint, right? We all have a footprint out on the internet, whether we want to or not. When you can't find anything, that's a sign of a made-up person.
And I think people don't realize how much information they may share on themselves. If you comment on, oh, the sunset over the mountains looks really pretty tonight, and one of your friends says, oh, are you in town? No, I just saw somebody else's picture. I'm back in, I don't know, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Well, now you just told people exactly where you live.
Exactly.
And unless you have enhanced security systems, I think it becomes really risky.
It absolutely does. And, be careful of those fun little quizzes you play when you're online. What was the name of your first car? What's your favorite color? What was your first pet's name? These quizzes are ways for cyber criminals to gain information about you, information that they either use to break into your passwords or to learn about you so that they can try to scam you in the future. So be careful of those quizzes and what you're sharing. When you're talking to someone, look at their social media page. How many friends do they have? Are they sharing a whole bunch of selfie shots, and those photos are the same photos that they've sent to you? Are they forwarding on stock images and not really putting something together themselves? Are they dropping a pin at a restaurant, for example? Oh, I'm at such and such a restaurant. This cappuccino is fantastic. They're probably not. They're probably just posting stock images, posting a few selfies. They're not really engaging on their social media page. They don't have any pictures of them with family and friends. So take a look at their social page and really look for those signs. And for yourself, keep your privacy up high. Only have your friends that you're sharing your information with. Most of these social media sites have a privacy section. Go into that section. You can drill it down as tight as you want it. You can select sharing only with friends. You can select that you only want your friends to be able to share with their friends and not the whole world. You can select that you don't want your post shared at all, other than to your friends. You don't want to make it possible for them to share your post. So there's so many variations of how tight you can make your security.
And I think that that's something that if people aren't sure how to do, there's ways to learn that. Is that something that would be available on your website so people can understand how to make their social media more secure?
Yes, you can visit fightcybercrime.org. We have all types of information on security. We have, some slides to look at how to do something, and we can point you to appropriate, videos that will show you how to manage your privacy settings and be safe when you're online.
That's really good, because I think sometimes I don't know where to click. I don't want to click the wrong thing and delete my profile because that's how I see my grandkids and all of those things. So to have like step-by-step instructions is really helpful. Now, say for example, you thought you did everything right and this person just told you everything you ever wanted to hear and you really wanted to help them. And so you wired money or you gave them your banking information or your credit card information. Is there support for people to be able to recover? Because the person's going to genuinely feel like they were in a relationship. Is there help for that?
Absolutely. So, there's two things going on here. There's the financial recovery, the reporting aspect of that. Where do you go to report? What do you do to secure your bank accounts, your credit cards, your finances? And what do you do, if you've become in debt because of the scam? And then there's the other side. There's the emotional side. You may find it difficult to talk to friends or family, or perhaps they're not being supportive, or they're being supportive, but they just don't really understand what you're going through. And it is a real relationship. What you've experienced is real, whether it is on the computer or on the telephone, by text, by video, or with the person sitting next to you. What you engaged in was a real relationship. Whether or not that person is who they say they are doesn't negate the fact that you are in a real relationship. And so with that comes the death of that relationship and the betrayal of, thinking that you were speaking to somebody that you were building a life with. So that is, a lot of trauma there, right? Financial trauma and emotional trauma. And so one of the programs we have at the Cybercrime Support Network is a peer support program just for people who have experienced romance fraud because of that emotional aspect of this fraud. This is also a free program. It is a 10-week program. It's virtual, so you can live anywhere in the United States. We do it through a Zoom link. And it goes for 10 weeks for 1 hour each week. It's divided into 2 sections each week. You get about 10 minutes or so of cyber information. You learn how to be safe online, how to find out if the person that you're speaking to is real or not. You learn about romance fraud, about reporting, about different financial recovery options. And that's about 10 minutes or so at the beginning. And that's taught by someone from our organization. And then we answer any questions on that. And then we switch over, pass this over to a licensed counselor. She takes over the main part of that hour, and she provides emotional support and wellness information and resources, and she guides the peer group discussion. So it's kind of two parts in one, and that goes for about 10 weeks, like I said. And when that program ends, we have a private social media site where our group can continue. It's a private Facebook site that we strictly monitor, that is just for people who've gone through the program, and they're able to continue talking to each other in a safe place, and talking to us and asking questions as they move forward in their healing process.
And it sounds like the healing process can take a while from an emotional standpoint. Is there a chance for recovery for the financial side, or is that one of those things that is really kind of challenging because the scammers could be anywhere?
So there's always a chance for recovery, but getting the money back that you sent out is very slim. Usually the money was sent by Bitcoin or gift card or in a format that's going to be difficult for you to retrieve. Um, Most of the time, the money is leaving the United States. It's going to a country where these cyber criminals are located, and it's going to a country that normally doesn't work well with the United States in apprehending those criminals. So it makes for law enforcement, it's a very difficult job for them to find these people. But there are, we do offer some assistance. Each case is a little bit different. How they sent the money, when they sent the money, what information that they had, whether or not law enforcement has an active investigation. And then also there's other financial things that people may need assistance with. They may need IRS tax assistance help because they took money out of a 401k and now facing paying taxes. They may need bankruptcy assistance help. And other things like that, or legal assistance, free legal assistance through the state. So there are some things that we are able to assist them with.
And again, your program, who can access it? Do you have to have a particular kind of insurance, any policies, any fees involved?
No, it is a completely free program. It's funded by FINRA, which is the Financial Investors Regulatory Authority. It is their education arm. It is completely funded by them, so it is a free program. You can be any age, male or female, from anywhere in the United States. And all you need to do, if you're interested in our program, is go to our website, fightcybercrime.org, go to our program's webpage and fill out a referral document. It'll just ask you for your first name, your email, and your phone number. And then I will reach out to you and we'll set up a time to chat where I can tell you more about the program and help you with any immediate resources that you may need while you wait for your group program to begin.
And it's really you that actually reaches out to people.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not like going into a call center where it's going to come through from an 800 line or anything suspicious.
No, it'll be me.
That is
or,
awesome.
or someone from our organization, but right now it's me.
I totally understand. So if people are watching this and they want to support the work that you're doing, are you a nonprofit? Do you need donations? Do you need volunteers? Do you need people to share on social media? What would be helpful?
Absolutely. All of the above. We are a nonprofit. We're always looking for funders. We would love to expand this program. The need is enormous. People don't realize that anyone and everyone can be a victim of a romance fraud. And all of us have experienced cybercrime, almost all of us, in one way or another. Even if it's just an online shopping scam where you bought something and when it came in, it wasn't what you expected it to be, or it didn't show up at all. So romance fraud can happen to anyone. And it does. It can happen to people in the tech industry. It can happen to people who get involved in a romance and then get involved in a crypto investment because of the romance. What it really boils down to is it can happen to anyone because it is based on our emotions. That is what these cyber criminals are using in order to get us to give up information and to give up our money. They are using emotional manipulation, some of those dark manipulation tactics that have been around for a long time. It's just that it's easier for them now because they have the technology to reach us. And so that is how they're stealing from us. But yes, we're always looking for funders, donations, and definitely looking for people to share this information, because the only way we're going to stop the tide of cyber criminals is through education. And that's by forwarding this type of information when you see it. Share it with your friends and family. I always say to people who participate in our program, when they leave those 10 weeks, they know significantly more than most of their friends and family do. And I ask them, please go out and share it. Even if you don't want to tell them about what happened to you, say you saw it watching a webinar, but share it, because that's the only way we're going to stop this. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Kim, I'm so glad you had the time to come on today. This billion-dollar industry of scam artists are just, they're horrible human beings, but I'm glad to hear that there's help available. It makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Well, everybody, it can happen to anybody. So when you see those comments of people who you don't know, who are saying all those lovely words, ignore it. Don't respond. Don't reply. Get out of there. Don't acknowledge them. You want to be safe online. And if by some chance you did participate and you did get scammed, know that there is help available. That's the really important thing. You are not alone. Reach out and get the help that you need. So I hope that you have all hit like and share, because this is a topic that can impact all of us. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you liked this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.